Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So what am I up to today? I'm trying to find my center. So still no time change, which makes it 10 to 12. It is May 13th, Tuesday, 19.0 degrees. There we are, still not charged. It's been a real overcast day. We're up to 67 here. And my friend says somewhere around 63 or so, 61, 62. Anyway, so I'm drilling out these wheels, and one wants to get them as close to perfect as possible. By the way, those are going to be just amazing. You know, a narrower profile like that has the advantage of digging down a little deeper. Unfortunately, it's narrow in the back, so also going to make it a little tippier. But the narrow profile will dig deep in mud or snow or anything. So there we are. Spent a lot of time aiming and drilling these. I wanted them centered, right? I wanted it to look good. I'm probably never use these wheels for anything else, but I wanted to do it as good as I could, and it looks like I succeeded at that mission. Let me show you how I did it. Wanted to start off with something round, so I started off with your basic paper plates, brought a few of them out because you don't always do things right the first time. And then I wanted to find the center, so I kind of poked a nail into it and spun it around and got as close to center as possible. Then I used a T-square to set on center like that. Then I just extended the two lines, 1, 2, drew them. So now I had a center and two long lines. Well, when you place this on, right, you can't be off a center, because then the lines don't match up, right? If I'm off this way, you can see that line don't match up. If I'm off this way, then that line won't match up. So I centered it the best I could. I drew little circles, you know, reaching around. I didn't have the bolts on, so I just kind of reached around and drew the circles the best I could. And then I centered on the circles. Right? And from there, I then once again used the center to cut the edge, and I made it so that it fits perfectly within that, right on the bottom, so it doesn't move around. Put little dots where I was going to drill the holes, and when I took it out, I could tell that the spacing was really pretty good right here, you know, all the way around, and that I was centered. Then you really do want to use a punch. Started out with a pilot hole on a new bit. Went up a couple of times till I got to the size I was after, and the hub fit nice and tight, right? I made sure it was nice and tight in there, and then obviously I bolted it on. So when it comes to owning these bikes, one of the most important things is to be able to move them around without killing yourself. So it's a real bitch when you have to pick anything up to move it. It is just so much easier to just you know, aim it at the door, give it a push, it rolls down that little hill, and it's out of the garage. Then I can do what I need to do. So I am really thrilled with those tires. for a few reasons. First of all, I'm thrilled that they're going on something real time rather than getting stacked up in the hoard, because once stuff gets stacked in the hoard, it has a tendency to get lost in the hoard. So I'm really thrilled that you know, it's going on real time. It's not hanging out waiting to get broken, destroyed, flat, dry rotted, or anything else stupid. So that thrills me, the way they look, and when I take them for a ride, I'll see how they feel. They are 6-ply, so I imagine there isn't going to be too much shock absorption back there, so it's probably going to be a little bit of a hard rider. But where I ride anyway, I don't think that'll matter too terribly much. Just to, you know, around the property out back in the woods and all, so it shouldn't be, it really shouldn't be bad. Okay, I want to get that other wheel done, then I want to get these two on the bike outside. And speaking of the bike outside, I have not checked, and I really should check to see if it's got any welded hubs on the axle, because if it's got welded hubs on the axle, I have to think about my next plan. Doesn't feel like it's welded. Doesn't feel like it's welded. Normally these lower horsepower ones, they don't tear up the hubs too bad. The big horsepower stuff, or the 200M had a tendency to tear up hubs because the metal they made the hubs out of, this stuff, it's kind of a little soft, I think. So the other thing is, it depends on maintenance. What you're supposed to do is actually take these off once in a while, clean the threads up, you know, wire brush them out, put a little lubricant on and put it back on and tighten them tight. Tighten them down nice and tight. You know, a lot of people, for whatever reason, take the wheels off and they don't put the washers back on, so they never really get tight, and then gradually, between the dirt getting in there and weeble wobbling because they're loose on the shaft because the bolt's not tight, eventually they elongate that splined area, and from that now you have play, and then eventually the play leads to slippage, and you know, buff the splines right out of there, and then you're screwed. Alright folks, I'm gonna run, get back to it. I don't know, you probably get at least another video today, maybe two. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Bye now.